Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about who is the best Disney princess and who is the worst Disney princess. Hold on, I forgot. Right, there she is. I'm so sorry I forgot to grab you. I'm joined by Miss Minnie today. I will only be talking about the princesses who are confirmed Disney princesses on the Disney website, plus Anna and Elsa, because did you guys know that they aren't Disney princesses?
What?
They're honorable Disney princesses, which I think doesn't make sense because they're arguably the most popular Disney princesses. So if you don't see your favorite Disney princess on the list, I'm so sorry, they are not classified as a Disney princess. Also, this is just my opinion, so if your Disney princess is not at the top, I'm very sorry. You can let me know who your favorite Disney princess is. I'd love to know. And if you stick around to the end of the video, I'll let you know which princess is my favorite princess. So without further ado, let's get started. Now to explain our tiers. The top tier we have is Evangeline.
There she is, the sweetest firefly in all creation.
This tier list embodies what a Disney princess is. They're a great leader, they're kind, they love animals. This tier holds the best of the Disney princesses. The next tier that we have is
I can handle this. Have a nice day.
These princesses are not quite the best of the best, but they still embody pretty much everything that makes a Disney princess. Our third tier is
I'm a damsel. I'm in distress.
This is the middle tier because occasionally it's fun being a damsel in distress, but also at the same time, you don't want to be a damsel in distress all the time. So this category holds all of the princesses that are kind of in the middle. They're not a great ruler, they're not a bad ruler. Our fourth tier list is
Dishonor on you! Dishonor on your cow!
these princesses are maybe not the best rulers of the land, but they're also not horrible. These princesses don't really embody what a Disney princess is, especially in modern times. And the last category we have is Poison Apple. These princesses are the worst Disney princesses, and I question whether they should even be Disney princesses. I'm gonna just do a little disclaimer. Some of the older ones might be down here. And yes, I understand they're iconic and it's original. It's how Disney came to be. But if they were to rule in this day and age, they would probably be overthrown. I will be ranking these princesses based off of a few different things. One of the first things I'm looking for, just straight basics. Would they be fit to rule a kingdom? Some of the good qualities you need to have. Good leadership skills. Why can't I think of any more? I think it's a requirement that they have to love animals. Because what kind of princess would you be if you didn't love animals? Starting all the way back to 1937 with Snow White. I'm only covering this original. We're not going into any of the remakes or live actions or anything like that. Well, first of all, Snow White is only 14. Just thought I'd mention that. The first note I have here is she is entirely too young. Maybe in a few years, but she's a bit naive. All right, going away from the fact that she's only 14 and she's just entirely too naive to rule a kingdom, definitely too trusting. I mean, she just walked into the dwarves' houses, and when she woke up, 7 men were standing there, and she just, let's be friends. Like, okay. I mean, I wouldn't have slept in some random person's house in the first place, but you know what? You do you, Snow White. I will say, I was watching clips of this movie to prepare for this, and I did see the clip of the dwarves when their noses pop over the beds. I'll show it right here. But it goes with the music, and why can't we have that in movies anymore? I love it. It's great. Also, are we going to talk about the fact that her eyes are always closed or almost closed? Like with Snow White, you know, just asking. She is a big animal lover though, so I'll give her that. She does scare them a bit in the beginning, but you know, she's having a little mental breakdown. You know, we all have those, it happens. She is quite a bit optimistic as well, which I think is a good quality to have. She might be a bit too optimistic though. Also, I'd like to point out that at the end of the movie, when she's dead, the prince gives her a little smooch, problematic in and of itself. But then she wakes up and hugs him and lets her hold her like she's known him her whole life. then she just ditches the dwarves. Like, imagine your best friend, okay? Meets this guy for the first time, and then she's like, all right, bye, guys. I'll never see you again. I'm moving out. I'm moving across the country with this guy I just met. Just saying, she was willing to drop everything just like that. I really don't want to rank her at the bottom, but I also kind of want to. I don't think she'd make a great leader. Also, can we talk about the fact that her stepmother is jealous of her? You your stepchild just because some mirror told you that she's the fairest of them all? It's a bit psycho, but alright. I apologize to Snow White lovers, but I gotta put her in Poison Apple. I just don't think she's fit to be a good ruler. I'm sorry. Definitely not starting off strong. Next princess we have is Cinderella. I mean, she's a hard worker. She loves animals. She is very positive, and I will say she's a little bit less naive than Snow White. Actually, she's a lot less naive than Snow White. She understands the struggles of life. I mean, she's literally somebody's housemaid. Not even a maid, she's a servant. She also spends a little bit more time getting to know Prince Charming, which I like that because Snow White literally saw the prince twice, and the second time was when he kissed her, so I think her being in the Poison Apple category is justified. But her and the prince get along. Again, it is only for like an hour, but it's a little bit better than Snow White. They actually talk to each other a little bit. One negative trait I will say is she's definitely a bit of a pushover. So that also means that it would probably be pretty easy for somebody to be in her ear while she's ruling the kingdom. I don't think she could make very many decisions for herself or for what's good for her people. I will say, after watching a few scenes from this movie again, I do think she is not a very problematic princess, I will say. All right, I've gone over pretty much everything. Let's rate her. I think Cinderella could be a little bit higher up just because she's kind and I feel like she will do whatever is best for her people. The only thing holding me back from putting her kind of more towards the top is the fact that she's a pushover. I feel like it'd be pretty easy for people to walk all over her. I'm gonna rank her pretty high. I'm gonna put her in I can handle this. Have a nice day. Maybe that's a bit too high for her, but you know what? After reading the notes, I think that's best. And the next princess we have, Aurora, aka Sleeping Beauty. Now in this movie, she is only 16, which I would argue is still fairly young. She's a big animal lover. She's a little bit more cautious than our previous princesses. I mean, when she's singing in the forest and Prince Philip comes and starts dancing and singing with her, she's definitely more, get away from me. Which I will say, Prince Philip, she pushed you away. I don't know why you keep trying. No means no. I will say though, once she does grow that trust, she's a bit dramatic. Once again, we have that trope where she sees the boy for the first time and she's automatically, this is who I'm going to marry. This is the person I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. Like, you're 16. It's time to slow down a little bit. But let's be real here. The fairy godmothers are the ones that carry this whole movie. But also, I'd like to point out that Maleficent is real petty. Like, you about to her because you weren't invited to her birthday party. Maleficent, I'm sure you will always get invited to parties from here on out. I'm not saying go and somebody just so that you can get invited to a party, but I mean, I would be afraid to not invite her again. I mean, she'd be a fair ruler, I feel like, but also too, I feel like she might get hung up on one thing and just like, it's the end of the world. She was told she was already betrothed to another... When she was told she was already betrothed to another dude, and she just entirely broke down and was like, oh no, but I love this boy. I mean, understandably upset because you were betrothed to be married when you were a baby. But maybe it's a good thing. You just met this man. All right, so for this, I can't put her in the top because she just falling in love too quickly. Man, what is it, Disney? At least have them go on a date first. My God. But I think we're going to put her somewhere in the middle because I feel like she'd be a fair ruler. But I also think that she's still just a bit too naive. She might trust the wrong person and then it hits the fan or something. So, damsel in distress. That's where you're going, Aurora. Next princess, Ariel. All right, to start off, she is 16 years old, okay? 16, again. You know, when you're 16, you do feel pretty old, but you are entirely not old at all. You are a child. I'm sorry to all my 16-year-olds that are watching. You are still very young, I promise. But again, we have incredibly naive. Now, I understand, Ariel, you're curious. You want to see the the world above the sea. I get it. I want to know what's under the sea.
With you,
I'm gonna get you.
I'm gonna be your best friend. Good feelings gone.
Okay, maybe I don't actually. A lot of it seems very scary. But to see a guy on a boat again and just automatically, no, you don't. That makes me question her decision-making skills. Well, also too, she thought that signing a contract with the Sea Witch was a good idea. Also, after watching a few clips of this movie, the officiant reminds me of the officiant from The Princess Bride.
Dearly beloved, marriage.
Marriage is what brings us together today.
She is quick to ditch her people, though. You had a whole family of mer people, and you chose legs. Maybe she doesn't make the best choices. So keeping that in mind, I actually might put her a little bit lower than Aurora. I don't think she'd be great at making decisions. Yeah, I'm sorry, Ariel. You're going into dishonor on your cow. So sorry to all my Ariel lovers out there, because I know you're out there. I'm looking at this based on how well they would rule or how well they would be ruling a kingdom, okay? So take that with what you will while I'm ranking these. Next princess, we got Belle. Oh, where do I even start with Belle? She's smart, devoted, kind, selfless. She is not a pushover. She's not afraid to talk back to a big, scary beast.
That hurts!
If you'd hold still, it wouldn't hurt as much.
Well, if you hadn't have run away, this wouldn't have happened.
If you hadn't frightened me, I wouldn't have run away.
Those are good quality traits for a good ruler, for a good queen. If I had to point out a negative, I would say the negative part about her personality is the fact that she accepts talking furniture fairly quickly. And she doesn't really freak out about it. That's a little sus. But outside of that, I mean, yeah, she's going in Evangeline. It's Belle. She was made for the top spot. Next up, we have Jasmine. Where do I even begin with Princess Jasmine? She knows her worth.
I am not a prize to be won.
She is independent. I mean, she went out on the town all by herself. She knew it could potentially be dangerous, but she went and did it anyway. She's adventurous. She's also incredibly smart. I mean, who else could outsmart Jafar like that? She also figures out that Aladdin is lying. She can call out bullshit from a mile away. She's also a girl that knows what she wants. She's not having it with any of these princes. Even Aladdin, when he comes in as a prince, she's like, not feeling you. You know what? Her age, I'm not even going to count it as a factor here. She's just going to go into Evangeline. That's where she deserves to be. All right, it's agreed? Awesome. Now we have Pocahontas. Pocahontas is incredibly free-spirited. She's adventurous. She's wise. She's kind. She's an animal lover. And I think this is one of the first movies where we kind of get... Okay, wait, no, never mind. Ariel had flounder. Okay, maybe not the first movie to have an animal sidekick, but Miko. I love Miko. He's so cute. We named one of our cats Miko because he kind of had a face of a raccoon. Look at that face, though. He's so cute. She is very fearless, though. I mean, she's willing to jump off of a, 50-foot cliff. I don't know how high that cliff is, but it's tall. I also like that she's a bit cheeky with, who is it? Is that her sister? I don't know, but she, pushes her off the boat and then spits water in her face. And it's just a cute moment, I think. She also chooses not to be violent too. She wants, especially at the very end there, she wants to try and talk it out. She doesn't want the violence. Honestly, Pocahontas kind of hits all of the great qualities for a Disney princess, so putting her in Evangeline. I honestly can't even say one negative thing about her. Ooh, we got another good one. Mulan. Love this movie. Such a good movie.
Child. Anyway, so.
Also, I think this is one of the first movies with a Disney princess where there's no real love interest. Yes, you can argue Shane and like he is probably the love interest, but that's not the main story here. She is determined. She will do anything for her family. Therefore, she would probably do anything for her people. Actually, she will do anything for her people. She literally saved China. She's not afraid to stand up for herself. She's also not afraid to get her hands dirty. She will go to war. She will go to war for her people. Also, girl power, okay? That is Mulan. She embodies the girl power. We all know how I feel about girl power. She's also incredibly smart. I mean, she was the one that took down all of the Huns single-handedly. Her, by herself. Just saying. Evangeline, yes. Front of Evangeline too. Front. Very front. Next we have Tiana. This was the first princess movie that I got to see in theaters, and I was not disappointed. Tiana has grown up with almost nothing. She has worked so hard to get where she is. She's hardworking, she's determined, she's ready to make a name for herself. This is also one of those movies where she gets to know her love interest first, you know? And she doesn't even like him at first. It's a little enemies to lovers situation. Also, she understands struggle and heartache. She is able to learn also too, like through the journey. She also, through her journey, learns not to work so much. That's the only critique I have about her, is the fact that she works so hard that she works a little bit too much. Like, go have fun with your friends every now and then. Go dancing with them.
I don't have time for dancing.
You're in New Orleans, it's fun. Have a margarita. This is another one of those where I don't have anything negative to say. I don't. Anna's going in Evangeline too. She'll be after Mulan, in front of Belle. Sorry, Belle. All right, we just got a few more. Just a few more. Next we have Rapunzel. Now, I love Rapunzel, but is she fit to be a ruler? Questionable. Now, we're back to the naiveness in Rapunzel. She's a bit naive. I will also argue that Mother Gothel is entirely to blame for that, though. The amount of gaslighting in this movie, astronomical.
Rapunzel, do you even hear yourself?
Also, I would like to argue she's trusting, but also trusting-ish. Because she does, you know... But then he also trusts him to take her on this journey, and his intentions are not great at first. Also, for being isolated her entire life, she is very positive. Can't put her in the top spot though. I actually would kind of argue to put her in the middle. She's got great qualities to be a good ruler of a kingdom, but she's a bit too naive, she's a bit too trusting. She also worries a lot, so I feel like she makes some decisions and she kind of second guess those decisions. Yeah, she's going in damsel in distress. She's gonna go in front of Aurora though. And next we have Merida. I'm a little bit ashamed to say I've never seen this movie all the way through, which I probably should have because a large majority of my heritage is Scottish.
And if you were a Scotsman, I'm ashamed to call myself one.
I just couldn't make it through, you know? Alright, let's just start. She's independent. She's a bit of a rebel. She'll fight for her own hand. Like, she's also another one of those princesses that's like, I don't need a man. Like, just let me rule by myself. I can do it. You don't need a man by your side to rule. You do you, boo. She's incredibly brave.
Are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing.
I'm so sorry for that. So, I mean, I know I haven't seen the movie, so I guess I'm cheating a little bit, but, you know, I know her character enough from the trailers and the clips that I've seen. There's something about it that I can't put her in Evangeline, but I'll put her in I Can Handle This, Have a Nice Day, because that is her personality. I can handle this, have a nice day.
And I'll be shooting for my own hand.
Also in front of Cinderella. All right, home stretch. We got Elsa. I wasn't trying to copy anybody with this hair. Elsa, let's just go through everything, shall we? She is quite shy and very self-conscious. She is incredibly independent though, which I think is a good characteristic to have to be a good ruler. I also think she has a fairly large character arc compared to other princesses in different princess movies. Because I mean, honestly, I'd like to argue she's shy and self-conscious in the beginning of the movie, but not really at the end of the movie. Like, she's a lot more confident. So I don't know if I should, rank her based off the beginning of the movie. We'll do the end of the movie because, I mean, that would be where she is now. I mean, she still has all of the good characteristics from the beginning, like being independent. but she's much more open. And I mean, yeah, she shared her powers, so I guess in turn you would be a little bit more open. And also this one's different too, because in the movie she is actually queen. She's not a princess. As far as I can tell in Frozen 2, she's doing a pretty good job. She's still pretty, I don't want to say reserved, but a little bit reserved still, even towards the end of the movie. We'll put her in I can handle this, have a nice day, because that's how she is with her powers. She tries to hide them and she's like, I can handle this, have a nice day. She's going in there. She'll go in front of Merida. Next we have Anna. Two sisters, but also incredibly different. Now Anna is naive. She's got that naive trait. She reminds me of a little bit like Rapunzel, I would say. She kind of has that quirkiness to her, but we're back into those tropes of falling in love real quick. I like how this movie is a bit more self-aware, but I mean, imagine if Hans had actually gotten away with it. But she's incredibly optimistic, and even though she's been isolated in the castle her entire life, she's so positive about everything. And then Elsa's just more of a pessimist. They balance each other out. Anna's also very adventurous. She's way too trusting. We've all seen the movie. So I would actually argue that Anna's gonna make not as good of a ruler as Elsa. I don't think she'd be a horrible ruler, but we're gonna put her in the middle, I think. She's gonna go right next to Rapunzel. I do think she'll go in front of Rapunzel though. I feel like she'd be a slightly better ruler. And last, but certainly not least, we have Moana. All right, Moana. I feel like Moana actually kind of looks like her age. Moana is adventurous. She's strong-willed. She's determined. She loves animals.
Stay.
Maybe a little too much. Also, she's definitely fearless. I mean, to go across, I understand the ocean's on her side, but still, to go across the ocean in a small raft, even with a demigod with you, I wouldn't be comfortable. I will say she's definitely got all of those qualities to be a great ruler. So honestly, I know this was short, but I think I'm gonna put her in Evangeline. She's gonna go at the end though. She's a bit young still. And there you have it, my Disney princess tier list. I did say I would name my favorite princess. Hopefully you didn't figure it out. I didn't want to tell you at the beginning because I didn't want you to think I was biased. But I always loved Jasmine. Close second, Mulan. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I would love to hear who your favorite Disney princess is down in the comments below. Also, if you'd like to see my tier list outside of this video, I will be sure to post it on Twitter, so you can go check it out there. I've got my socials linked in the description below. And this was super fun. Honestly, if you guys want me to make more Disney content, I am here for it. Maybe I'll do the villains next week. I don't know. We'll see. And with that, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your Saturday, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!